Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to walk you through how I would go about tattooing this rose right here. This style is more on the traditional, I would say, simplistic side, so it's going to be great for beginners. I will leave a link down in the description below for you so you can download this stencil and follow along with me on your end. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this. Let me start by listing off the gear that I will be using for this demonstration. So I'm going to be using a sheet of Trueskin fake skin for this demonstration, along with Spirit stencil paper for this design. I did use my iPad and Procreate to create this design right here. I'm also going to be using the OG Produce Inkcarver tattoo machine, along with an OG Produce standard 14 round shader tattoo needle. I will also be completing this tattoo with dynamic black tattooing ink. I will be using Scotch shop wipes and simple petroleum jelly to clean up the excess ink and to clean up the fake skin here. Are you needing or wanting tattoo guidance? What about 4K high quality step-by-step follow along tattoo sessions, or maybe one-on-one tattoo support to get answers to your questions that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist? You can now become a Patreon, where you will gain access to high quality 4K exclusive step-by-step follow along tattoo sessions. I will be tattooing with you in a one-on-one step-by-step manner, where I will be explaining what I am doing and why every step of the way. I will also be doing this in a high quality 4K format for your optimal viewing experience. On top of the one-on-one support and on top of the step-by-step tattoo session guidance, you will also gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and place on your end to further develop your skill sets. I will leave a link for you in the description or in the pinned comment section below, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. When you become a Patreon, you will be getting one-on-one support where you can ask me as many questions as you'd like that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. You will gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and practice on your end. You'll also gain access to exclusive high quality 4K footage where I walk you through each and every tattoo session in a one-on-one step-by-step manner, where I explain all the what's and whys along the way. Become a Patreon today. Thank you for your support in advance. I greatly appreciate you. Are you wanting to develop your tattooing skill sets? Now you can practice and develop anytime, any place with an assortment of tattooing workbooks that I've created. With these assorted tattooing workbooks, we can practice our basic lining all the way to advanced lining. We can practice shading, shading placement, dot work, textures, and more. All we are going to need is a tattoo workbook of mine. We can use a pencil, pen. We can even use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge to develop our tattooing abilities further. That means that we don't need tattoo ink, we don't need napkins or petroleum jelly to get to practicing. Simply open one of my tattooing workbooks and get going. It really is that easy. You can get your hands on one of my developmental tattooing assorted workbooks by simply clicking the links in my description or in the pinned comment section below, or navigating on over to Amazon.com, typing in Daniel Yuck, and you'll see all of the assorted tattoo workbooks that I've created come up. If you have an Amazon account, be sure to follow my Amazon author page as well, as I would greatly appreciate your support. Should you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, let's get right back into this video. Let's begin the tattoo process here. I'm going to be lining at around 7.5 volts. That seems about right for me. When it comes to a tattoo, I typically start from the bottom and work my way to the top. This is a preventative, so that way it minimizes the potential of me losing my stencil along the way. Where I'm going to begin is, I'm going to begin by moisturizing the area lightly with a thin layer of ointment here. And I'm going to just dab. I don't wipe away because I don't want to lose the stencil here. From here, I'm going to start by identifying my point A to B, and then I'm going to create the line from those 2 points. And I'm going to try to remain as steady and consistent as I possibly can along the way. So I'm going to start from right here. I'm going to taper in. That's my A, and I'm going to bring my B to around here. running at 7.5 volts. I want to make sure that I give the needle enough time to deposit the ink in a steady and consistent manner, and in order for that to happen, my hand speed and voltage has to be aligned with my needle depth. I actually made a full in-depth review on how to go about lining recently, and I have a few other videos about lining. Be sure to check those out on my YouTube channel. So that's the first line that I'm going to create for this rose right here. I'm going to repeat that process to complete this area right here. So from here I'm going to come this way and around. I'm going to start right here, then I'm going to taper in, and then I am going to bring it down and around. My ink flow isn't quite adequate, so I'm going to get a little bit more here, pick up where I left off. So I'm lightly going over, and then now I'm committing back to the line. And then I'm going to taper out and up that way. So far so great. Now it's important that I make sure that I stay true to the line weight integrity because I am using a 14 round shader. There's going to be fluctuations if the line weight doesn't remain the same. Also, 14 round shaders are very forgiving to any mistakes that we should make along the way. So from here I'm going to taper in this way and bring it around this way. Like so. And that's a process that I'm going to repeat to complete this area right here, and then we'll move on that way. It's probably way too much ointment there, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust accordingly. I'm going to taper in and bring it around. A to B. Now I can go ahead and proceed to the next part of this tattoo. So from here I'm just going to continue to work this design. So I'm going to start from right here with the taper and then bring it around here. The reason why I'm moving this way is because when I think about it, I naturally feel more comfortable moving in this direction. You may feel more comfortable moving in the opposite, which is completely fine. I encourage you to make those artistic choices for yourself along the way. There we go. And then this process is essentially going to repeat itself throughout the entire design. So from here I have an artistic choice to make. I can begin working this petal right here and then move that way, or I can begin working this petal moving that way. I don't really feel like there is a right or wrong. It really comes down to whatever we feel most comfortable with. So for this, I'm going to begin working the petal this way. I'm going to start right here with the taper. Actually, let me readjust the camera. So allow me to readjust here. I'm going to identify A and B. And then we're going to continue with the same workflow. Like so. And then from here we're going to repeat and move on down this way. So I'm going to taper in. I'm going to repeat by tapering in and completing this line here. Didn't feel fully comfortable, so I couldn't commit. There we go. And from here I have another artistic choice to make. Where do I want to go next? I would think that it's probably wiser to try to work as evenly as I can all the way up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start right here and apply this little line right here. I'm going to move on over to this petal so I have a little bit more freedom working the design. So from here I'm going to come around this way and around. Same thing, I'm going to just repeat this steady process all the way through. And then from here, I'm also going to repeat that, running the line this way. Now again, artistic choice, if you feel more comfortable running that way or that way, to each their own. Gonna taper in slightly. I feel like it's very important to identify those point A and point B points before we commit to a line. So that way we have the tattoo mapped out as we go. So far so good. All of the line weights are neighboring one another well. All the line weights are the same. So from here, I'm going to continue. I'm going to move on to this middle area, and then we'll work our way this way. Or artistically, if I want, I can work on this area and then repeat the process moving that way. I actually think that we should go this way here. So I'm going to A to B this way. Now, a reason why I chose this rose right here is not only because it's simplistic, but however, the line weight as well is going to be easier to work with than using a round liner, such as a 5-round liner. Mistakes are more prominent the lower the needle goes. So with this needle configuration of a 14-round shader, it's going to be a lot more forgiving. And from here, I can continue working this petal until it's completed. So I'm going to identify my A point. And then I'm going to bring it on over to B. Slightly taper out there. And then continue the process over here. There we go, A to B. And then I can continue working on this area without worrying about those lines right there. And then from here, I'm going to do this line to this line right here. There we go. And then I can repeat that process with this petal right there. So I try to make the most sense of my moves that I'm making, so that way I can stay organized and clean as best as I can. Same thing with this side right here. You always want to make sure that you have adequate ink flow as well. Felt like I had enough for that little area. Now our needle depth and technique can be perfectly correct. However, if we don't have adequate ink flow, then it's not going to deposit correctly. You always want to make sure you have enough ink to make it to where you're going. There we go, and then I can continue building around here. And then from here, I'm going to work on this petal since I'm kind of like in a motion that way. So from here, I'm going to identify my A point, make my way to B. Like so. And then now I'm going to do the same thing with this line right here. So from here, I can begin to work this detailed inner side right here, just building up line by line. So I'm going to taper in my A point and then navigate my way on over to B. Like so. Then the same thing with the neighboring line. And then now I can move to these little inner details right here, and I'm going to use the same needle for the entire design. Same sort of application, it's just a different line. I'm just going to take my time with the entire process and keep it at a steady, consistent pace, and I really think that that's the ticket, is to not rush and map out the tattoo as we do it here. Slow and steady, I feel, is the best approach here, and for most tattoos really. So now I'm going to continue. I'm going to do this area right here, and then we'll continue this way. Let's take care of this middle area right here. I'm going to bring this line out this way. Taper it into that line. And the same thing with this area right here. I'm going to taper in right here. And then now we can move on over to this area or make our way up here Again, it's really up to us artistically where we feel most comfortable navigating to next. So for the next part, I'm gonna do where there's a little bit more dented details, which is right here. I'm going to taper in this way and then bring it around. Like so. And then same thing right here. And then I'm going to implement this area right here. There we go. So far so clean. All of the line weights are still neighboring one another well. All that's left is going to be this petal in this area right here, and the outline is complete. For me, it just makes more sense to complete this little area and then move that way. So I'm going to A and B it right here to apply this line. Tapering back into the existing line there. And then from here, I have to figure out how I'm most comfortable. Do I want to bring the line this way and around, or this way and this way? I'm going to start from here, taper in, and bring it around this way. And then the same thing over here. I'm going to taper in right here and then commit around this area. Keeping at a steady, consistent pace with the proper hand speed and voltage, the correct needle depth and angle. Everything is aligned. And each time I do that and I align all of my fundamentals, you can see that I'm getting clean, saturated results with neighboring lines that are neighboring one another well in terms of line weight. The last part of this tattoo is this petal right here, and the outline is completed. So from here, I'm going to navigate by tapering in this way. Come on down to the right, and I'm going to taper back into the existing line. I'm sorry, taper out into the existing line. Right here, and a taper out. Little taper out there. A little taper in with the taper back out into that end. So I'm going to taper in and out over here. Slight taper out there. And then we're going to repeat that same process for the last line that's right here. So I'm going to taper in. I got a little too much ink on that refill, but it's okay. And then I'm going to navigate this way to taper back out into the existing line there. And that is how I would go about lining this rose design right here. So that right there is how I would go about outlining this simplistic traditional style rose. This is going to be a two-part series. This is going to be part one, the outline. Part two is going to be where we would go about shading this rose in. So be sure to hit that subscribe button for me and ring that bell so you can be updated when I release that video. Now, I do hope that you can find some value within this follow along. I hope that you can take some information from this video and immediately apply it to your end. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below and I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, I appreciate your time and I thank you for watching. You have a great day.